Welcome to Infinite Horizon. By the time the higher vibration dropped, leaving Scientology, sheet-selling gypsy, and the value of time. With Chase von Ach, on October 9th, 2024, few were ready for what followed, a raw descent into breakdowns so complete they birthed systems no ideology could offer and answers no doctrine dared admit. True success is born from breakdowns, not breakthroughs. Listen to Chase von Och's story, and you'll hear why. He was raised inside a system that promised salvation, and instead, they broke my mind. That admission lands like a grenade. This story is institutional harm, sleep deprivation, coercive labor, being prevented from getting help, an environment that turned a mission to help humanity into psychological collapse. Von Och says, "I lost my mind, and we should name the pattern. High control groups, like the ones chronicled in late 20th century exit narratives, often close ranks and punish doubt. Who benefits when people can't ask for help? Who controls the silence? The slow, brutal apprenticeship of recovery and reinvention. He didn't walk into instant peace. He sold rugs and $20 sheets out of vans, learned sales by being in the market, bootstrapped through the 2008 financial crisis, and turned failures into data. He sold 250 sheets in a day at peak, learned the economics of attention, and learned that advice is only valued when people pay for it. That isn't mercenary logic, it's behavioral economics. Price creates commitment. He learned to fail fast, to test low-barrier ideas, and to iterate, exactly the kind of adaptive entrepreneurship that emerged after centralized income streams collapsed. Regeneration, and here his pivot matters. He credits trauma-informed care and simple somatic protocols. If you pat the top of your head and rub your belly in a circle, the area of your brain is prefrontal, with rebuilding regulation. That aligns with trauma-informed care. Body-based practices and non-judgmental containment can convert dysregulation into repeatable resilience. He's right that neurologically informed exercises and therapists who hold space, not opinions, were crucial. He's also right that clarity about what you want and the willingness to pay attention to time as finite are engine rooms for long-term change. But let's not romanticize a neat science versus religion victory. One expert cautions the narrative leans on anecdotal neural rewiring claims, simple sensorimotor tricks and sweeping statements like, "Science succeeds where religion fails, risk being overstated without controlled study." Recovery needs predictable relational containers, not just isolated hacks. That critique matters because when institutions abandon people, we should demand systems of care that are durable, scalable, and evidence-based. So what did von Och get right? He showed how breakdowns can be metabolized into systems, failure as experiment, somatic practice as regulation, pricing as commitment. What did he miss or underplay? The necessity of sustained community infrastructure to hold survivors, and the caution that single techniques aren't proven cures. This is political, because it reveals how institutions fail at the edge of human fragility. Freedom begins with the right to ask, and healing begins with the courage to answer no. If we want less coercion and more resilience, we must support trauma-informed care, create predictable containers of safety, and treat resilience not as a buzzword, but as an engineered social project. That's it, my friends. Please like and subscribe to support my channel. You can find more content on my Spotify and on YouTube under the handle @Infinite Trail Horizon.